Okay, and welcome back. I have some updates to my hobby room. This is, of course, what I was showing before. When I first moved in here, I had this and this, and I've got all that room up there to do all kinds of things. And actually, right there, this is something else I got to mention. That's a new addition as well. I've got myself my own light, and man, does it light things up. Really, really, really helps out. And that's much better than the, where is it, single bulb I had, which definitely wasn't lighting up the whole shed. But, okay, so that's new, and this is new. I live in a neighborhood where people throw out things that are generally pretty nice, and came across this thing. This is, I don't know what it is. I think it's a TV stand, but it's got a nice glass door here. This is going to get a little dark, and I'm not using my good camera. Got some shelves in there. And this is really neat. Look at the way this opens. See that? But not only does it have some shelves right there in the door, but it's got a whole nother level in there. And that has more shelves in the door, and then another shelf in there. So, boy, I was happy to find this. And the reason why I was looking for another desk, now I'm probably going to fill this with paint. Paint everywhere. Even if I have to modify these, I think they'll fit in there. I haven't tried. It looks like enough room. But this is probably going to fill up with paint because of the purpose of why I picked it up. Because I needed a base, because I want to get started on making a spray booth. And my first idea was this. This is a bookshelf. These are the extra shelves. And they just mount on those little pins there. Everybody knows how bookshelves work. And again, this was somebody was throwing this away. And I tell you, this stuff gets even nicer than this out here. They throw away everything. But my idea was to use this as the start for a paint booth, because it's got 5 sides in the back, 4 sides in the back. But the idea I was going to do is I was going to take these shelves and kind of extend them out like that to make it even deeper, because if I make a spray booth, I want a big spray booth, because I'm generally working on some larger scales, and I have a lot of larger scale stuff coming up. So I want the booth, if I'm going to make it, I want to make it. I want it to be huge, really. If I get into airplanes and so on, I'm going to need it to be really, really big. So as you can see, this is immense. That's 3 feet across, 3 feet up, maybe, something like that. But as it turns out, I don't think I'm going to use this. I think what's going to happen with this is I think that I am going to put the shelves back in there, and that's going to go up there just to provide a whole bunch more storage. But I'm still going to use that base there, and I had another idea come to me, and you'll see. It's a dryer. And when you think about it, why not a dryer? When you really, it's gigantic, and it's a big hollow, it could be a big hollow cube. When you, now this is our old dryer, this is our old washer and our old dryer. We just replaced them, and I'm the kind of guy that likes to tinker with stuff. So I held on to these just to kind of dig into them and mess with them. But then it occurred to me, thinking about a spray booth, this is a spray booth when you look at it. If you were to, now I'm not talking about leaving the drum in there, and some of you might be thinking, take the belt off so it doesn't spin, and disconnect the heat, and then just use that blower fan in there. But the problem is, whether you realize it or not, that the back there, that's blowing, not sucking. And of course the lens screen, it's sucking in there, so it's sucking in through there and blowing through there. So it's going the opposite direction, not to say that you couldn't turn it around the other way. And it's a big squirrel cage blower in there. We've had this apart when we had a squeaky belt, and I got a sort of a look at it, and that's a question I'm going to ask here at the end. But I think that the idea would be to take the drum out and take the entire front off of it, because if you look here, the front comes right off. We've had it off before, and so, but when you look at the and leave the top on, of course, but when you look at the back here, it's a nice rounded, you know, solid curve. I've been out working, that's why my fingernails are all dirty, but it's on the other side as well. So this is a bent solid piece of metal, so there's no seam there, nothing to leak out. Now of course you've got all these little vents here, and you can just seal them up with caulk or something, and then you have a hole. You might be able to actually hook up your fan to that and use that as the exhaust. I don't know, I haven't really dug into this yet to find out, but if you were to do that, what you have, if you were to just take the front off, the front piece, and take the drum out of there, what you have is a 5-sided cube, and a really big one. And that is a spray booth. And of course you would have to leave the controls on there because it's hilarious. But the question I have, in case anybody happens to be an appliance repairman or knows anything about appliances or dryers in general, the blower fan that's in there, would you think that that is a brushless blower? Because it's, you know, it is really strong. I think it would provide plenty of power if I were to use that one. But so do you happen to know, are they all brushless in dryers? And also, how might you tell? Of course, I wouldn't have to hook it up to 220. It says right here that it'll work on 120 or 240. I think most of the 240 would be for the coils anyway, not the blower. And so I think that I'd be able to light it up with regular plug. And I would just love to do that. I love to utilize its own blower. So anyway, let me know. I'm going forward with this for sure. I'm going to use at least the case, but I'd love to use that blower. Let me know, guys, and later.